The public does not have adequate or accurate information about these products. There's a lot of bad science that has happened. There's people in the field who don't really understand the principles of epidemiology, with lots of study designs, there's so many confounders, there's so many different ways to interpret the data that you can come up with almost anything. But I think this study was effectively important information was hidden and was selected by the authors, and that is not acceptable. And so it's fantastic that the journal retracted it, as you know, on the back of Professor Rodu's efforts and others. But this needs to happen much more quickly. And that's not the only study. There's other studies from that team and others, which I think have played an important role in the fear and the misperceptions around vaping. And we need to look at those studies, and if possible, they need to be withdrawn as well. It's not helped by the fact that the scientific community appears divided and that regulators and policymakers around the world are influenced by poor studies and a particular slant on the evidence. And they use that to make decisions which, at the end of the day, are not evidence-based.
Tobacco control invented this swarm effect, or at least perfected part of it.
The swarm definitely continues against vaping and the selective use of science. Now, there are definitely risks associated with this. Nobody's saying it's completely safe. There are very few things that are. But I think particularly in the US, there's been a whole coalescence in relation to emphasizing the negative aspects, the youth figures going up, the lung deaths and the cases as we've described. So there's definitely a swarming. No, and in fact, the latest paper out on Juul specifically shows that the 59 milligram per milliliter product and the nicotine salts, as you say, the arterial spike and the nicotine delivery is basically the same or very close to smoking. And, that's what we wanted to see. We want good products that deliver nicotine effectively, just in the same way as we would prescribe a combination of nicotine replacement therapy.